Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video on my second channel. And I didn't want to do this, right? I didn't want to do this. The Burnley review of yesterday's game, Brentford 2, Burnley 0. I, of course, was doing a watch-along, and I had to go early because I had a football match to go and deal with. I'm going to go get this up onto the Twitter right now, and let's begin, right? So I'm going to wait till some people arrives here. Of course, this is my second channel. People may not be aware of this, but over here, I want to do more Burnley kind of stuff because I want to talk about Burnley. However, I kind of feel like sometimes it's not really needed on the actual main channel. So all things Burnley here that I feel need to talk about, I'll whack it up over here and we can have a conversation about it. So yeah, where to really begin with yesterday? I'm going to start off with where I currently stand right now, because right now the entirety of the Burnley fan base on Twitter especially is in meltdown. It's in complete meltdown right now, and I don't really know what to say to combat it. I am usually a very positive-mannered person. I like to look at the bright side of things, and it's hard for me to really justify where we're at right now. Looking at yesterday's game, I don't want to say it because I feel like it's going to annoy a lot of Burnley fans, but it is in reality fine margins. If Cornet, when he went one-on-one, he puts back in the net with 1-0 up with 15, 20 minutes to go, right? Dwight McNeil, first off, wonderful ball in the box by Westwood, right on, on a plate almost of Dwight McNeil. It goes for a header, and it goes massively wide. Now, of course, I'm not saying that Brentford didn't also deserve to win. It was one of those games that I felt like it was more kind of 50-50. For the most part of the game, it was kind of scrappy, and that it always felt like there'd be one goal in it, and that they got that one goal in the 85th minute via Ivan Toney by a fantastic ball in the box by Christian Eriksen. And it's, even from a footballing perspective, it's great to see Eriksen, doing well. Just, I was hoping it wouldn't be against my own football club, which is very upsetting to see. So where do we go with this? Where do we go with the team? I'm seeing a lot of Burnley fans now start asking serious questions of Sean Dyche, saying that they actually think that, should we now be looking for a change? And I think, just to straight up say, I think that's absolutely ridiculous to even try to say. It's like a Bielsa situation. It's like, who would you actually think can come into Burnley and make us any better? If you can give me one name, then feel free, tell me, but I cannot think of one. In terms of the team, when I watched the game up to like the 80th minute, sadly I had to go set off to the football game of my own, which I play for a football team, so I had to go in the car. So sadly I didn't actually see the game. I watched it up to about the 80th minute, so I saw the corner one-on-one, and it's a shame, man, because it was the perfect kind of game that we would go and get a result from, in terms of make it scrappy, keep it 0-0 until like the 70th minute, and then we'll get that one big chance. We had that big chance and we didn't make it count. For Brentford fans, they'd be absolutely buzzing. And I know that I've said before that I think they'll go down, and I'll get whatever stick that I deserve. When you see a team will go down and you beat them and you don't beat them, then of course you will expect to get some stick, and I completely expect that. But if I was them, then I'd be absolutely buzzing because they stuck in there. They played some decent football at times, and it was very, very end-to-end at times. That there was like a big gap between the midfield and the defence that we were able to kind of find pockets in, and just that final piece of quality. And the issue is, from a Burnley perspective, we keep on saying these big games are, the next big game, that's the big game, gonna make it count there. We've been saying this since December, since Newcastle away, and we lost there. Then we had Watford at home, and we drew there. We've not beat a single team around us other than Brentford, basically. Like, we've not beat a single team around us. Like Everton, Leeds, Norwich's, Watford's, they're nowhere to be seen, and we cannot get a result against them. Now, of course, we have still got the likes of Norwich to face, the likes of Watford to face, the likes of Everton to face as well, and even Newcastle, but they're out of the way now. They're miles above, so they're clear now. But in reality, you got Norwich away, Watford away, Everton at home. That's still to come. It is still, and I'm going to try my best to give you some sort of positive mindset here. In my mind, it is still up for grabs. If you look at the table here, I'll look at it, and I don't think it is absolutely disastrous. Yes, if we won yesterday, then it would have been ideal. And yes, if we did get a draw, we would have been out of the relegation spaces, right? So League table, 18th, 21 points, only 1 point behind Everton, but now they've got 2 games in hand on us. However, we're 2 points behind Leeds, and we've got a game in hand. I kind of don't even want to talk. You know what? I should just ignore that. I should just ignore the fact that we have a game in hand. It means nothing, really. It means absolutely nothing. Because it feels like it adds more pressure to us than what it really does any good in reality. But you look at the table there, and it's like, you know what, man? It's still, like, possible. Like, we've still got 11 games of football left to play. 11 games. That's a lot of football. However, have I seen enough to think that we can still stay up? I would like to think so. I like to think so, but we can't keep coming to these games, which is a must-win, and then still keep flopping. Like, we've got to... This is what has made Burnley. Like, this is what has made us stay as a Premier League team in the last 5-6 years, that when it comes to the fucking big games, when we need to perform, we do perform. And this year, it's just not happened for us. It's been the final ball, the final shot that's just not gone our way, and then we get done by a great ball in the box, a great piece of quality by Christian Eriksen, and Ivan Toney is there doing what he does best to get the ball in the back of the net. And then the second goal, I mean, that's just kind of like, you know what, I'm more annoyed at the fact that we lost our red card record than anything else. I'm more annoyed by the fact we got a red card, because we've had that record since, like, I think January 2019 was the last time we actually got a red card. So I think it's like over 1,000 days, like 1,100 days. I'm more annoyed about losing that record than it is actually losing the game. I'll be fully, because at that time the game's done, right? Collins just tried to do what he tried to do the best he could. Took the man, red card, fair enough, and it ended 2-0. But the game was done by then anyway. We had to go all out, and that's what we did, and we got caught out for it, so fair enough. But I look at the table and I see that we are still in it. And Leeds faces Norwich today. I kind of like don't even like pay much attention to that, because it's like either way. I mean, what's best scenario? Like a draw? I think what we need is Leeds to not win. So either Norwich win or a draw will be like... I wouldn't even mind a Norwich win, because I feel like if Norwich somehow wins this game, then I feel like Leeds will absolutely just collapse, because the toxic nature of the fan base to their manager will be it'd be incredible. It'd be a massive like it will harm them completely, because it's almost similar to Everton fans. Like, you know, like when they say that, oh, Goodison Park, you know, it's a good atmosphere, they get behind the lads. Yeah, but if you go 1-0 down, they'll be completely against the lads. You know, that's the issue with Everton, I find, that no one hates Everton more than Everton fans. You know what I mean? No one gives them more grief than Everton fans, right? So it's like, I feel like that'd be the same thing with Leeds if they do not win today. If they do not win, it's still all to play for. If Leeds wins... Oh, Jesus Christ, it's going to be a tough one. I'm a very, very hopeful person. I like to keep hope. I like to keep dreams alive. And we have still got games that we have got in our hand. We've still got hope here. If I go onto the Premier League website, I go look at the fixtures that we still do have. It's not the end of the world. And that's the one thing for any Burnley fan that's going to be absolutely livid and raging and saying, that's it, we're shit, disgrace of players, short, die, shout. And I'm seeing some people say die, shout, and I'm thinking, bro, I don't know what really do you expect at this stage, because, like, it's so tough in this current situation to... I don't know. I'm trying to defend him. I'm trying to. But there's one thing I gotta say. I don't understand why Westwood starts. I don't know why Westwood starts. I don't know. Like, we played with Jack Cork and with Brownhill midfield, and they complemented each other very, very well. Okay? Jack Cork, a much more composed player. He keeps the ball, and he allows Brownhill to be that transitional kind of like pure number 8, that kind of box to box, goes up and down the field, and he has free roam to kind of do his own thing. With Westwood, he does this first time pass all the time, man, and you'll see it, and he's very, very panicky. Each time the ball comes to him, it's a first time pass to some random space and just begging that Maxwell Cornet can somehow get onto it. It feels like a Sunday league games that time. It feels like he's just like panicking and like, okay, go. And it's like the mindset of like, if I don't know what I'm going to do next, and they have no idea. it's like that kind of mentality. It's like, if my own football team doesn't know what I'm going to do next, then the opponent will have no idea what's going to come next. It feels like that. And I feel like we need to go back to what worked against Brighton, and we need Jack Cork in midfield with Brownhill, because that worked really well. It worked well against Spurs. And if Jack Cork is fit, which he was on the bench and didn't even play, then I don't know what to say. You know, like, I love Sean Dyche. I love him to bits. But when he makes a mistake like that, I've got to be honest and say that I think he made the wrong call there. Taylor sat on left back. Peters was on the bench. I presume he's got a knock still. Did we miss Ben Mee? I'll say we did miss Ben Mee, our captain, and he makes the players around him so much better. But when it comes to Dyche and his team selection, I still do not understand why he starts Westwood over Jack Cork when we literally haven't won with Westwood since the last time he played against Brentford, which was back in October, I think, okay? And we won 2 games with Jack Cork and Brownhill in at the first time those two started with each other. So I think it's just blatantly obvious to go back to what worked, and that is what worked. So I don't know why we are changing it the way we are when it didn't work for the entire length of the season. Looking into our fixtures here, we've got ourselves 3 weeks to play next game. I don't think it will be 3 weeks. I think there'll be like a game in the middle, because we've still got to face Villa away to be scheduled, Southampton at home, Everton at home. So they all still need to be scheduled. So I think there'll be like a game in between, and then that'll be it until City, right? But it's a big break, because then we got. I mean, look at this: Southampton at home. That's beatable, in my opinion. Honest to God, I think that's beatable. Villa away, that'll be a tough game because they're in good form right now. Everton at home, beatable, most definitely. City at home. Okay, let's write that one off. Okay, let's be honest here. Let's just write that one off. Okay, Norwich away, beatable. That is a beatable game. West Ham away. Move on from that one. You never know. You never know. Wolves at home. We've got a good record at Wolves against Wolves, to be fair. Then Watford away, Villa at home, Spurs away, Newcastle at home. We've got good games. So when I look at the table, I don't look at it and think, okay, we're done, dusted, that's it. I'm still keeping the faith here. Am I an idiot? Most likely. Tell me down below in the chat, what is your thoughts on the game yesterday? For me, if I was if there's any Brentford fans, I'd be buzzing. You guys, I would say that you guys, I don't think it was deserved. I think it was like a very, very even game that any side really could have scraped, could have swept a goal, and you guys did. So fair play for that. Like, I feel like both sides had their moments. Brentford were, of course, much more of the more technical, like, nicer football side. We already know that they're a very, like, technical, nicey side, and that we are a lot more direct. And that's how the game really played out, really. We had two big chances, and we didn't make a count. And Brentford had, in the first half, I think it was just an Ericsson shot, which was greatly saved from Nick Pope from range. And in the second half, I didn't watch the last 10 minutes because I had to go travel to a football game. But from what I heard, it was kind of all Brentford in the last 10 minutes of the game, after the corner one-on-one, which is absolutely huge. What's your guys' thoughts? Brentford fans saying, was an even game, but having that quality in Ericsson and that striker instant with Tony helps massively. Would have been a different result if he did hit the ball as well. Oh yes, and Jay Rodriguez as well. Jay Rod from absolutely nowhere, just 30 odd yards out, just bangs it. It's these fine margins. I don't want to say it because I know a lot of Burnley fans get pissed off of it, but we could have very easily gone into win that game and scrape a 1-0. Honestly, it could have very easily gone that way. If I'm Burnley, I'd want a Norwich win because I reckon they'll be down either way. Leeds losing Norwich, and I reckon that spells the end for them. It'd be absolutely toxic at Ellen Road if they do lose against Norwich, even if they draw, even if they don't beat Norwich today, Leeds, and I think it's going to be absolutely devastating for Jesse Marsch, because I've said this before, but the fact that they sacked Bielsa for me makes absolutely zero sense. Like, you're bringing in the guy with no experience at this level, especially not in a relegation scrap. Like, got sacked from RB Leipzig because he took them to 4 points off relegation zone in December, literally the same season, and you're saying you got 1 month to save our season. It is absolutely ridiculous, and it's idiotic at best, okay? And it's almost more of a spit in the face to Bielsa for what he's done. Yes, he didn't do that good, but Christ almighty, if you're going to replace him, at least bring in a guy that knows like a lot more the league, or if anything, do it earlier, or just stick out with him. With the stage of the season, I think it makes no sense to replace him with Jesse Marsch. It makes no sense to me, but that's just my thoughts on it. And Dwight could do a goal. He could. I mean, Dwight, I know how much he's feeling the pressure right now. And I didn't think he did like that bad in the first half yesterday, but from what I remember, I don't remember much in the second half of him, sadly. The first half, I thought he was doing alright, breaking down the channels, keeping the ball quite well, getting a bunch of corners. Christ, Burnley are literally known for being a set-piece team, where you're literally known as AC Milan when it comes to set pieces. Why are we doing a short piece technique? I'm seeing this a lot more often now. We're literally the best side in the league for set pieces. Why are we changing our set pieces for a short corner routine? It makes no sense. I don't get it. I don't know why we're changing it, but we are. I think we had how many? Actually, look at the stats here for the game yesterday. It was 13 shots to Brentford to our 7, but look at the first half, it's 6-3. Second half, 7-4. In terms of corners, we had altogether 9, and I think we had only one of those corners that actually almost led to a decent chance. In terms of big chances in game, they had 2, we had 2, and then they had 0 missed because they took them both, and then we had 2 missed. That's the difference. They had 2 big chances, we had 2 big chances, they scored them both, we didn't. It is what it is, right? It is what it is. Like, it's one of them that we could have done that game again, played the exact same team, and we could have won 1-0. That's the thing. It's 50-50. And in that game, unfortunately, it says 2-0, but it's really 1-0. We had to just go all out and send all our players up in last minute, and we got caught out for it, and they got a penalty from last minute. So that's where I stand right now. I feel like a lot of Burnley fans are very, very sad and upset and thinking that that's it done now. I think that they don't realise that we've still got a long way to go. Like, we've still got 11 games left. We've not got, 6 left. We've got 11. That's a lot of games. And bet me, if we do play in 3 weeks, bet me we'll be definitely back and our players will have a lot of rest because we have played a lot of games in a short space of time, and I think that may help us massively. I'm going to still keep the faith. Maybe I'm stupid for thinking that, but I'm going to go keep the faith here for this game, for the season, because yes, it sucks that we couldn't take advantage with Brentford, but you know what, man? I would much rather have Brentford stay up than a Leeds or Everton. So yeah, fair play if you're a Brentford fan watching. Absolutely fair play, and I hope that we can face you guys next season. And I think every single fan is kind of hoping that a Leeds or an Everton will go down because that'd be a lot more interesting and funnier than Burnley. If you wanted to go down, then I don't blame you because Burnley, we're not the most exciting club in the world. But I think Burnley, what I'll say of us is that I think we're still a shining light in terms of giving teams in the Championship hope of making it to the Prem and still being a sustainable football team. You know what I mean? I feel like us staying up in Prem is a sign that you don't need to spend millions upon millions of pounds and have the best team possible and just spunk out a bunch of money by having a billionaire owner to stay up in Premier League. And we've done that for 6 years with spending, I think, net spend, which means how much money you spent in terms of profits and how much you lost from profits from sales and how much you lost from transfer fees. I think it's 35-40 million over the space of 6 years. So that is 8 million net spend per season on average. I think it's 40, or maybe 45. Even still, that's still ridiculous for 6 seasons in Premier League. And also got a 7th place finish and also a 10th place finish as well. Got Europa League football with that as well. So I'm still keeping the faith. I'm not going to be all doom and gloom. And I hope that my kind of not loyalty, because every fan should be loyal in my opinion, but I can see a bunch of fans already looking downwards to the Championship thinking, okay, that'd be a good derby day, and that'd be a good derby day. Oh, I can't wait for Preston away. I can already see a lot of fans already counting, okay, so what away day do I want next down in Championship? I don't want to think about that yet. The moment that I'll think that is that if we go to Norwich and we still don't win, I think then it will be tough for me. But even still, we would still have games, but it depends on how Leeds and Everton does. If we go to Norwich and we still don't beat them, we'll have 6 games left, but we've got these games still to schedule as well. So it could be maybe 7 or 8. But I think if we go to Norwich and we don't beat them, then we really are asking for trouble. So it's that game that I will look at and review. It's a big hit yesterday. Don't get me wrong here. I'm gutted with it as much as everyone else. But I look at the table and I look at teams around us and I think it's still possible. There's 5 teams in it. Could be maybe 4 if Leeds beats Norwich today. but we have to wait and see. Tell me your thoughts down in the comments. I'll see you guys next time for another video. If you guys want more Burnley kind of reviews and previews and watch-alongs, then let me know. Of course, I've only just started here on my second channel, so we're going to be getting the ball rolling quite slowly. But hopefully over time, we can build this to be a decent channel that I can just talk football and things that I wouldn't really say in my main channel, basically. So tell me your thoughts down below, and I'll see you guys for another video, hopefully a bit more exciting within the next week or two, because I don't know when we're playing next, other than City on 2nd of April. So I'll see you guys then.